Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. We are going to go ahead today and do an Avalon video. This is really kind of set towards beginners since there's a lot of people that are going to be coming into the game soon with the IMX expansion, plus any future blockchains that decide to join the game. What I wanted to do is a beginner guide on how to do Raid 1, because Raid 1 is critical, especially in alpha. The reason why it's critical is because it gives you the badge rewards that eventually allow you to go ahead and exchange 21 badges plus your pass to get a character. So the big question that a lot of people have when they first come into the game, I mean like the first couple times they jump into the game, is how do I run Raid 1? And what are the steps to prepare and get ready for Raid 1? So I'm going to walk you through those items, give you a few tips here and there. But I do have to recommend, if you're new to Avalon and you're a lower level, do not try to do this solo. Either get with another group of lower level individuals, or go ahead and chat and reach out and see if there's anyone that can go ahead and help you out with some of the items. You can go ahead and get started and do the Gray Wolf, and you can go ahead and get started and run over to the Lich. Like, you can do those, and I'm going to walk you through how to do those. But when you actually fight the Lich and you get to the actual Raid 1, you're going to want to need help. So I'm going to walk you through some of those steps. Before we jump into the video, I know I have to do everyone's least favorite part of the video and let you know this disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Please make sure you do your own research before you jump into any project. Don't take my word or anything that's said in this video as financial advice or advice in any way. I'm just a gamer playing a game and reviewing games as part of this. I am not telling you to jump in any project or anything along those lines. Do your own research. Make sure it's right for you. Go ahead and pause this video and read this thoroughly before we jump into it. All right, so let's get back to the video. Most likely when you first come into the game, you're going to be in the harbor, and that's where I'm right now. I'm in the harbor. And so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to level a little bit. So you have a couple options there. You can go around and hunt around here. There's some options around here where you can go find a few things to go ahead and fight. But the best place to get started, and it's also kind of a match of where you need to go in order to kick off Raid 1, is Dragonheart, because you're going to have a lot of low-level monsters that you can go ahead and fight. And I have a whole other video on what you should do when you first log in and how to level up. So I'm not going to go through those details. But if you're new to it, go to Dragonheart. There's a lot of low-level spiders and wolves that will give you the first few levels. If you're just set to go ahead and do Raid 1, this is how you get to it. Once you're at the harbor, you see the harbor straight ahead. You're going to want to go to the left. There's going to be a path over here that is going to go ahead and take you all the way up to the portal. The portal will allow you to go ahead and portal over to Raid 1. You can also run there. I'm not going to show you the running there. I'll just show you the portal. I'm assuming that you're going to have at least 50 AVL to go ahead and portal over. If you don't, run over to Dragonheart the first time. Make sure you stack up on some of that AVL. But this is the portal that you're going to go ahead and use. Run up to it, hit E to go ahead and open the portal. And you're going to want to go to Dragonheart, which is the first option here. And yes, it does cost 50 AVL, so you don't want to use it that much. If you're going to go to Dragonheart, make sure you're going there prepared to spend some time there, especially if you're a level 1, level 2, or level 3, and you don't have a ton of AVL to use. Make sure you're going there prepared to spend some time, earn some AVL, and build it up with leveling and so forth. So that's the word of warning. If you're not planning to spend a lot of time there, I would run there instead. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click on Dragonheart and then click on travel. And it's going to take me right here to the main section, or the portal that goes into Dragonheart. I do have a horse. I'm not going to use the horse for the first couple steps. But once we get to the Lich portion of it, I will pull out the horse just because it's going to make it a whole lot faster. But I'll pull out the slower horse so you can kind of follow along with the path that I'm going to take to get there. So the first thing that you want to do as a new player and as you're coming here is you're probably going to want some bread. So I came all the way here to the center of town. You got the fountain here, you got the blacksmith there. And what you're going to see behind you is a big field of wheat, or grain, I should say. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to run through and collect all these sparklies. I have a whole other video on this showing you how to do it and what you need to do in order to go through that process. But go ahead and just gather a bunch of the grain and all that sort of stuff so you can have a chunk of it. You have a max or a cap of 100 that you can collect at one time. So go ahead, preferably go up to 100, but that's up to you. Depends how much AVL that you have, because it will cost AVL to make bread. Then you want to head over to one of these windmills and craft the bread itself. So you run in here and then you go ahead and click on that, and you have a number of different options. If you're low level, regular bread is going to be fine. As you get higher level, you're going to want to probably upgrade to berry and honey and apple pies. But that is down the road. You just click on it and it makes it for you. I already have a full stack of it, so I'm not going to go ahead and craft any. But then what you want to do is you want to click on I, and you want to drag your bread that you created over to the queue. So that makes it easy to access when you are fighting different monsters. All right, now you have bread. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and buff up and head over and get the quest and start going for the Gray Wolf. If you look at the top right of my screen, you'll see the quest log there. Basically, it says defend Avalon, speak to Aaron of Lincoln. So before we go to Aaron of Lincoln, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to get 2 buffs. First of all is the Fountain of Youth. If you look at my health, once I click on E, I get a big boost for my health, which will come in necessary. The next is Sit by the Fire. The fire is going to give you 100 boost in stamina. You're going to see my 500 stamina slowly go up to 600. It takes about 30 seconds for it to go through the process to go up. So we're going to go through that process and go up, and then we'll go and start grabbing the first quest. All right, you see I am now at 600, so let's go ahead and we're going to stand up, and you can use any fire. The only thing that you should be aware of is if you're in the town, especially for Dragonheart, and it gets to be midnight, like super dark in the middle of the night, there is a witch that is going to pop up and most likely kill you. So be aware of that. Try not to do this while you're in the middle of the night, because that witch is tough, especially at a low level. So what I'm going to do now is, this is the blacksmith in Dragonheart. We saw the fountain there. I'm going to go down this road until you see a path that cuts to the left. And what this path is going to do, it's going to take you to the temple. This is the path right here. You pass that horse and buggy, and then you take this path up the stairs. And this is the temple here. This is where you're going to go ahead and find Aaron of Lincoln, who's going to give you the initial quest where you have to go and get the Gray Wolf pelt. So you come over to him, you click on E, and you go ahead and read it, and then hit accept. And you're going to go ahead and run behind the temple. All right, once you're behind the temple, you're going to see a marketplace here. You're going to see a bunch of spiders around here and wolves back here. And this is where it is a great place to go ahead and level if you're a lower level character. And I suggest you do that before you try and run the Gray Wolf, but that's up to you. So you're going to go to the back of the market here, and you're going to head straight that direction. I like to run right between those 2 pink dots. So you can sprint by holding down shift. It's up to you. I'm going to go ahead and pull my sword out because we're going to see a bunch of wolves on the way here. It's up to you. You can go ahead and fight the wolves to get XP as you're going. They'll drop a bunch of stuff, but they're not going to drop the Gray Wolf pelt. You're going to have to keep going. You'll see another pack of wolves here as you're going down this path, and you just keep fighting the wolves. You can run past them if you're higher level, but they give you XP, so it's a good thing. You'll see the sign here, and you'll see Black Mountain. You're going to go to the right. And right at the end of the water here, you're going to go ahead and see a path, kind of a path up to the right there. You see that right there? That is the path to the White Wolf. I think I kept saying Gray Wolf. It's White Wolf. Sorry about that. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up here over this small hill, and you're going to see a pack of Gray Wolves and 1 White Wolf in the middle. See right there. Your job is to take out that White Wolf, but you're obviously going to have some Gray Wolves that jump in here. So it doesn't matter how you take it out. You can do it all. And they give you pelts, and then you want to go ahead and take out the Gray Wolf, which is a little bit tougher. But then you go ahead and see that E there. If I press E, it picks up a White Wolf pelt. That is the quest item that you're going to need. You see it also pop up there on the left. That's the quest item. That's the first part of the quest. And now you just have to run back to the temple and talk to Aaron of Lincoln again, which is going right back this path. And you may have some wolves pop back up. It all depends how long it takes you to take down the white wolf. So you see I have all these wolves that I'm going to go ahead against. And I can pick up these pelts and hold on to those for crafting. They're good if you're lower level to pick those up. I have a ton of them already, so I'm not too worried about those. And then I'm going to go ahead and keep going after these. And I'm running right back to the temple here. You see that marketplace that I mentioned before and the temple on the other side. And then you're going to see Aaron of Lincoln as you go around. You are going to get a little bit of AVL. You're going to get some experience points for running this. It's not a ton. It's good for low level, but it's not a ton. But this is the first part of the quest. So I'm going back to Aaron of Lincoln, pressing E, and I'm going to go ahead and hit continue. And you see I got 10 AVL and I got 50 experience points. So the next thing that I'm going to do is, if you see in the top right, it says find the Inquisitor. This is the tough part, especially if you're new, because it is a bit of a distance. This is where you're going to go ahead and fight the Lich. So if you come right to the steps, there are a bunch of ways to go to this. I'm going to show you the most straightforward, follow the road path possible. But there are shortcuts. There are easier ways to do it. So you're going to come down the stairs and come back to the middle of Dragonheart. And you're going to make a left. All right. So I'm going to pull out my horse now, just because it is a long run. So be ready if you're a new player and you don't have a horse and you're going to have to make that run there. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is click on E, and you see some other players that are running around here. And I'm going to go ahead for that run all the way down this road. And I'm heading there, and you're going to make a right at this fork in the road. And you're going to run all the way to the next fork in the road. Like I said, there are multiple ways to do this. This is just the way that I've always done it since day one. And then you're coming down this path. You'll see this person walking around, and you're going to get to another fork in the road up here. If you make a right at the fork in the road, you're going to get spiders and you're going to get a graveyard. If you make a left, you're heading towards the Lich. So you want to make a left there and go up this hill. So this is going to wind back and forth. And you could just go ahead and climb up the hill. And you know you're in the right path is if once you get to the top of the hill, you're going to go ahead and see a giant statue. That kind of gives you an idea that you're heading the right way. There's the statue I'm talking about, that big cross. And then what you're going to do is continue straight around here. You see this guard here, and then you're going to come back down this other path. That's how, again, you know you're going in the right direction. All right, you come down the path, and you come around here, and you keep heading this way. I do have to give you a word of warning right at this point. If you look up ahead there is a assassin. So if you're running by yourself, stay to the right as much as possible. Save your stamina so you can sprint, because they will attack you and they will throw poison at you. So we're going to run up here and go to the left. So you're staying to the left and you just follow the path. So you're going to keep following the path around here, and you're going to come to another fork in the road, which goes to the right. All right. And then you're going to keep coming up, and I'm going to give you another word of warning up here as you're getting through this path. You're going to come to a T in the road up here. You see it right up there? There's a T in the road. And if you go to the right, there's two assassins. So it's going to be a little bit tougher. We're going to the left. So try and stay as far to the left as possible, and just to avoid those. And now you're just about to the Lich. So just keep following the path, and you'll see a couple fires up here. And then you're going to see the Inquisitor in the front of the dungeon. So I'm going to jump off of here. I'm going to talk to the Inquisitor. He's going to say, "Are you sure you want to go in?" And you accept. And that'll give you the ability to go into here. This is going to be a little bit of a battle. Like I said, if you're a lower level, I suggest that you come in here with several other people, because you're going to run right in here. You're going to see a bunch of skeletons to start. And then once you get past the skeletons, there's going to be the Lich. And he's going to throw a bunch of stuff at you. There he is, that guy in the red up there. So you just go after him. You're going to need bread. You're going to need stamina. And I am trying to fight him as much as I can. Sometimes you can get him stuck, especially if you're a lower level, which helps quite a bit. But if they've done something where it kind of fixes it. So if he does get stuck in a corner, a lot of the times he will kind of transport himself. It looks like he's not doing that right now. I'm going to go ahead and use a piece of bread, and we should be able to beat him. Once you beat him, he's going to drop a staff. Make sure you grab that staff, which is right here. You grab that staff, because if you miss that staff and you go back outside, you're going to have to come back in and kill him again. So you grab that staff and you head back to the entrance. You can kill these skeletons if you want the XP. That is totally up to you, but I'm just going to skip them. So now I am back at the main front of the dungeon. I'm going to go ahead and put my sword away. Put that away. Yeah, you know. And then I'm going to come here to the Inquisitor, and I'm going to go ahead and hit E. Once I hit E, I'm going to get, again, a reward of AVL. I'm going to get some experience points, and I'm going to go ahead and get a staff. So we did that. You see, I removed that staff that I got from the Lich and then replaced it with another staff. So if I go into my inventory, this is the staff, the Necromancer staff. If you are an Inquisitor, you can probably use this, especially if you're early, but you're going to get one every single time you complete this quest. So if you do this daily, 21 days, you're going to have 21 of these to go ahead and hang on to. Totally up to you what you want to do with it. For the sake of this, I'm going to go ahead and drop it and then confirm. It's a nice little thing they added there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going back. I'm now eligible to go ahead and run Raid 1. So if you look in the top right there, what you're going to see is the fact that I am now, it says repel the threat and raid portal. So I can go to the raid portal. Before you go to the raid portal, make sure you buff. So what we're going to do is we're going to run back to Dragonheart. There's a ton of ways that you can go. A lot of people go to the right here. I'm going to show you the same path back. This is the same path back that we took in. So you go to the left at that fork, and then once you get up here, make sure once you get to the sign where there's going to be 2 signs here, go to the right, because if you go straight, you see there's assassins there. They're going to get you. So stay as far to the right as possible and continue to follow this path. So I'm just going to keep following the path all the way up here. And then I'm going to kind of hold, you keep going straight at this little fork in the road. And then up here, you hang to the right, because here's where the other assassin was. If you stay to the right and you sprint past him, he may hit you once or twice, but he shouldn't hit you too hard. Just follow the path. And you run around. Now you're going back up that hill. That's going to go to that statue cross. Once you're up at the top of the hill, you see the statue cross, you know you're going the right way. Come across the mountain and come back down that zigzag path. It does take a little bit of time. You can actually go shortcut down that way. I'm just going to run the whole path just to show you it. And then you stay to the right up here. And then, this is the right, this fork in the road. You stay to the right. And you see that person that I pointed out before. So you're almost back to Dragonheart already. If you're running without a horse, it is going to take a little bit longer. But you can always work up to the yellow horse, and this flies. I have the white horse just because it's a slower one right now. But I do have the yellow one. The yellow one goes a whole lot faster. You get to this fork in the road, go left, and you're in Dragonheart. You're right back at Dragonheart. And this is going to be the point where you're going to want to go ahead and buff. So let's run to one of the fire pits. And one of the things that I would do if I was a lower level is when you're sitting here waiting for the fire pit to buff you up, this is where you go ahead and click C. And you try and see if anyone wants to do raid 1. As you can see, what I can say is, hi, anyone ready for raid 1? Hi. Anyone up for raid 1? Oops, if I could spell. Anyone up for raid 1? And then you just wait for anyone to go ahead and respond. If anyone responds, I'll go ahead and run it with them. If no one responds in the next minute or so while I'm buffing up here, what I'll probably do is I'll show you the area and may run the first part of it, but I probably won't show you the whole way through. So just because I can get far enough in there at level 53, but I am still considered a lower level. You need someone like a chiefy to go ahead and solo it. So now you can see that my stamina is up to 600. I'm going to step over here to the fountain. Going to go ahead and grab that buff again, just restart that timer. And now I'm going to show you where the raid portal is. Actually, you know what? I won't go on my horse. I'll show you the walking. So I am by the fountain, heading away from the temple. You can see the horse statue there. And you come this way and make a right, and you're going right back to that mill where we made the bread before. You can see the field up here that we're going to run through. And then you've got the mill up there. You're going to run past the mill, and you keep going down that hill, and what you're going to see is the portal. And you can go ahead, and now you are eligible to go in the portal. Please be aware that if for some reason you log out, you get kicked out, or for some reason you need to restart your client, you are going to have to do all those quests again. So this is the raid portal right here. I'm going to go ahead and get my weapon out, see if anyone else is in here. So let's go up here. We'll start fighting these initial ones. What you want to do, a few tips, focus on these healers, these shamans. Because if you don't focus on the shamans, they're going to just heal everybody up. And I keep getting hit. Oh, I got to put my knockback on. Oh, I'm going to die here. I don't have my knockback on. There we go. Got rid of him. That's what I wanted to do. I'll go ahead and do a few more breads. Ooh, he's got one of the new swords, which is great. All right. I have this one. There we go. Knockback was causing a problem. All right. So let's head this way. Do a little bit of healing. And we'll fight. And you're going to fight a lot of these. There's going to be a lot of ranged ones. There's going to be a lot of, where are you? There you are. Big, brutal orcs. So you just kind of have to go through the process of fighting all these and getting them. I love that new sword the other guy has. I don't have that sword yet, but that is a beast of a sword. I need to get that. All right, let's go ahead. Heal. All right, and you see these chests along the way. So we're going to go ahead. There's another batch that's down here. Again, you go after the shaman first. Shamans are the healers. So you go after them and you try and take them out as quickly as possible. And then that means the others won't heal. We're going to go down here and try and take you out. Boop. And this is what you're going to do. And then you get to this point, and there is... Where is he? Did I miss him? There he is. Sometimes they get a little sneaky. Sometimes they hide a little bit. So we got to keep going after him, keep chasing him down. All right, so now you see here, I'm going to switch up to my bow. And we're going to go ahead and switch back. And I have a Titan helmet on. So that's what I was talking about before when I was first attacking and I kept getting knocked back and kept getting basically my stamina taken away is because I didn't have my Titan helmet on. If you have a Titan helmet on, they won't knock you back. If you don't have a Titan helmet on, it's going to be a bit of a tougher time. So just be aware of that, especially new players. You won't have the Titan helmet. So we're going to go over here and get this other chest. And this is where it's going to get a little difficult. Because this is the big guy. This is the big guy to the end here. So we're going to go for the shamans first, or we're going to go for the archers first here. Solely because they can tear you up if you let them. So, I got stuck. Gosh darn it. He's chasing me. This guy's, I like that sword. I need to get that sword. There's another shaman over here. Go ahead and get that. And we're just trying to avoid his big hit, because his big hit hurts. There it comes. So we're trying to stay around behind him as much as possible. Oh, and he got me. Oh, we got to get these other shamans because they're back. Just trying to take you out. Go ahead. Oh, there's the shaman. I didn't see that. Yeah, good job. Oh. Problem is, if you take him outside of this circle or this little area that we got going on here, he will basically recover and respawn. There we go. I leveled up. Love it. And always, always, always say, there we go. Thank you. So you always thank everyone. Hey, who's still attacking me? Oh, there you are. Oh, I'll go ahead and go boop. Gotta grab the chest. This guy's hiding. Oh, and he's gone. What? Yeah. So my goal next is to go ahead and get the sword that this guy has. And then you go to this exit raid, and then you're back at the beginning. So that's how you run raid 1. Obviously you need some help if you're a new player, but it's a simple process once you learn the path, which I just took you through. Video took a little bit longer, but I wanted to show every single detail as far as how to go ahead and run raid 1. I hope you enjoy this video. If you have any other requests, please leave them down in the comments below and let me know if there's anything else that you'd like me to go ahead and do guides on. All right, appreciate your time. Thank you very much and have a great day.